Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Math 20-1, Chapter 1.4, Geometric Series. Now, so far we found what's the sum of the series when you know n, but what if you don't know n? What if I give you a series like this? 243 plus 81 plus 27 plus ... plus 1/9. What's the sum? Now, here you look at this and you go, okay, T1 is 243, Tn is 1/9, n we don't know, r is 81 over 243, which is 1/3. Now, here, there's two ways to solve this. You can solve for n. Remember the formula, t to the n equals t to the 1, r to the n minus 1. Guess and check. That works. But of course, there's an easier way, and I'm going to show you the cheating shortcut. Now, for me to show you the cheating shortcut, I got to show you why it works. So, pay attention for a sec. Formula we have for finding the sum, T1, 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. If we multiply that out, that's t to the 1 minus t to the 1 r to the n over 1 minus r. But the formula up here, t to the 1 r to the n minus 1. Observe that, because instead of writing t1 to the r, we can write t1 r to the n minus 1 times r, or 1 minus r. Now, why write it that way? That's t1 minus t to the n times r over 1 minus r. And that is on your formula sheet. Look it up. So the sum of this geometric series is the first term minus the last term times r divided by 1 minus r. So, using this formula we just derived, which is on your formula sheet, we can solve this sequence. So, pause the recording, plug in the numbers, come back and check your answer with me. Okay, so plug in the numbers in. 243 minus 1/9 times 1/3 over 1 minus 1/3. I get 242.963 over 2/3. That becomes 364.445, or 364 4/9. Now, depending on my mood, I tend to prefer this in fractions. So far, so good? Now, I have to apologize. I've realized I made a boo-boo. I double-checked the formula sheet. They write it this way, backwards, for the way I was taught, just to confuse me. However, it is the same formula, and it will work. I'm just too lazy to prove it right now. Now, let's do an example. One more example on this. For the series, two minus 6 plus 18 minus 54. Minus 354,294. What's the sum? Now, as I said, I apologize. The formula sheet writes it backwards, so I'm going to do it the way the formula sheet does it. S the n, R T n, that way. No. minus 1. If you do the math, it's the exact same freaking formula. They just write it differently. I should use the formula they use. Now, T1 is 2. T to the n is minus 354,294. N we don't know. R is minus 6 over 2, which is minus 3. So once again, if you want to, you can guess and check and find n. But I'm lazy. So this would be minus 3 times minus 354,294 minus T1, 2 over minus 3 minus 1. Now, grab your calculator, plug some numbers in. Actually, pause the recording. Plug the numbers in, come back, check your answer with me. So this is 1062882 minus 2 over minus 4. Okay, so that becomes 1062880 over minus 4. $256,720 would be the sum. And yep, that works. Okay? So, one more question, show you the hard version, or the sneaky one. So, last example. For a geometric series, S5 equals 186, and R equals 2. What are the first 3 terms? So, with the question, make a list of what you know. You don't know T1, you don't know Tn, R is 2, N is 5, S5 is 186. Now, go back here, the formula sheet. Now we've got several equations we can use. Now as a reminder, once again, don't use this one yet. We've got these 3 formulas. So we've got 2 different ways we can find the sum. The first one is if we know T1, N, and R. And the other one is if we know R, T to the N, T1. Now, note here, we have R and N, we don't have T1. So we have to use this first formula. So, now they write that as on the formula sheet like that. We don't know T1, but we can solve for T1 using this formula. So it is plug in, well, actually, pause the tape, plug in the numbers, solve, come back and check your work with me. So pause the recording now, please. To the 5th is 32 minus 1. T1 is 186 divided by 31, which is 6. Once you get that, what's the next part of the series? Well, it goes 6. 6 times r is 2 is 12. 24. Now, you are technically supposed to be going T2 equals T1 r to the 1, which is 6 times 2, which is 12, but you guys are 20-1. You can multiply 6 by 2. Now that's it for the second half of this unit. Watch these videos carefully. When you come to class, we'll have some questions to try. Have a good day.